Okay. So the topic for today is posted all over Lindsay's shirt because we've been talking for what, 15 minutes?
Has it
And
been that long? Good grief.
it has been, and it's all been about like these ridiculously not great things that are happening to us. And so I was like, let's talk about staying salty. We're going to stay salty to survive our situations. That's a lot of S's, right? And then Lindsay said she had a story. So you have a salty story
Yeah,
for it?
I need to hear the salty story.
I
Okay,
do.
so we've had the conversations in the past about the fact that we live in an HOA neighborhood. I can't have a whole flock of chickens. I can't have a sneak of weasels. I can't even have anything like assimilated or associated, that's the right word, with farm life whatsoever. So I'm a little salty about that, right? Because, we pay for this property. We manage it. We maintain it. We do our things with it. It's our right to, decide how we manage that. But we do pay an HOA fee, and that's intended for common spaces and common areas like, snow removal in the winter and ice and things, and then like mowing the common spaces and what have you. So with that, like, I appreciate the HOA in that respect. Like, please clear the snow off the street so I can actually get places. Also, I would love for us to not have like 1,000 million mosquitoes in the common grassy areas. So I like to keep that nice. Yes, I will consent to paying for that. We happen to have two roundabouts in our neighborhood, and they flank us. Like, one end of the street, we have to go around a roundabout. If we want to go out the other direction, we have to go around the roundabout. Now, I live in America. And in America, we drive on the right hand.
You wouldn't know what this is like, but
we drive on the right hand side of the road. I fully respect all of the other countries that choose or that have it set up on the left hand side of the road. I don't have a problem with that in the world. It's really cool to do that, actually. We live in America. Our roads are designed to be right hand driving. We have some people in this neighborhood who choose actively to go against the specific placards and signs on the road that say only right turn on the roundabouts. And it gets me salty because I don't want people dictating how I live life on my little plot of land. I am happy to abide in the rules and the proper law abiding things when it's in the common space. And yet, people in this neighborhood actively choose to go the wrong way around the stinking roundabout, which is a safety hazard. And they also have the audacity to tell people you can't have chickens. You can't have a swing set in your backyard. How dare you put up that trampoline for your children so they can be outside in the sunshine, getting fresh air and living their best life. I do not have a problem with what anybody chooses to do on their own piece of property. I don't. You can get your little golf cart and you can drive on the left-hand side of whatever roads you create on your property. No problem. Do not have a care on this planet. Please do so as long as it causes no harm to other people. But the moment that you choose to dictate how others live on their private property while also completely ignoring the actual law of the road, I got a problem. I'm salty. Hashtag salty. I was a lot more fired up yesterday, but I found it. I found it.
wow.
Terrible and so dangerous. How on earth would I teach my child how to drive?
Oh, and it's not just teenagers. Yesterday, I approached the roundabout from this direction, like pretend like it's the northbound, like the north entrance into the circle. There's someone coming out of the east, and she decides to head south the wrong direction, as opposed to turning north and coming all the way around. And it's one of those moments where I realize I struggle with people who think that they are more important than other people and choose to cause harm or potential harm to others because they think that they are more important. There's someone in our neighborhood that's actually probably about 6 different vehicles that I've seen, and only 2 of them have been driven by teenagers. And so I'm going to allow lack of maturity to be their, like little bit of buffer. But also it's been 4 adults, all that appear to be over the age of 50, doing these things.
Which is,
I got issues.
Yeah, roundabouts are supposedly the safest intersections.
Oh, they're not.
I love roundabouts. I think they're great. They are so fun, and if you miss your turn, you just keep scooting. You keep going, and it's fine. You can figure it out.
I don't understand how the concept is so hard for people, to be honest.
I know.
Like I really don't. All you got to do is just merge in there and go off where you're going. That's all you got to do.
I do think there are some people that genuinely are confused by it. But I need to turn left. So what do I do?
Right.
And so maybe give them a little bit benefit of the doubt that maybe they're just real dumb.
How many of them though? Because they can.
Is it better to be real dumb or real rude? I don't know. I think real dumb.
I would prefer them to be real dumb and then be teachable, right?
There you go. Yeah.
But
yes.
What
the sign should teach them.
Well, and there's like, it's a yield, and then underneath it's a right only turn. Like on every single corner of every single roundabout in the neighborhood. So it's not like it's a mystery or, oh, the sign isn't there. No, Jared and I, we walk the neighborhood 2 miles almost every single day, and we check them, and they are there every single day. It's amazing that the signs, they have not moved. And yet these people, and here's how I know that they're not necessarily dumb. They actively approach the roundabout slowly and then make the incorrect turn. But whenever they're coming back, they go the proper direction. And I'm like, so you do know how to turn right. That's not outside of your capacity. You just don't want to drive. And I will say, our roundabouts, the actual circle is really quite large. So it feels excessive. If it were about, I don't know, like 20% smaller, that would be perfect. But it's not. So here we are. And even though I am not one that's like, you have to follow the letter of every single, as I choke on my, I don't love laws. I don't love rules, but when it comes to safety, that's where it bothers me the most.
Mm-hmm. Are there no police that ever see this?
So it's a private street in a private neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And while, yes, you still have to abide by the laws of the road, there's no police officers or no sheriffs or any law enforcement whatsoever that we have seen that actually either patrol in this area or live in this area. I mean, it's kind of a distance away from town. So they would have to purpose to come out here or live out here. And that has not been my observation to date. I actually told Jared, I said, so what do you think about me hopping on the Facebooks, even though I don't have it, and making a post in the actual neighborhood group asking whose license plate is this? And
oh, those Facebook groups are fun. We have one of those for our community. Oh my gosh. Those are fun.
Well, and our HOA has one meeting per year, and we missed it this past go around. So it's going to be a little bit before I can go. And I said, babe, I'm not afraid of confrontation. But I'm also absolutely going to be standing my ground on, if it's a common space, we have consented to these terms, driving in America. You need to abide in that. I do not care what you do on your property. You could sit there and have a shed out there with all kinds of stuff just spilling out, devaluing the neighborhood. Do not care. That's me. I do not care. I care if you are going to be driving the wrong direction around the stinking roundabout.
All I can picture is those strips that they can put out on high-speed chases.
Oh, yeah.
I told Jared, I said, what would it look like if I put the backup tacks, the wrong direction, so that when you go around it, you don't really notice it. But when you go the wrong direction, pop, 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 pop.
Yes.
I feel like it would be an earned result an earned consequence for the choices.
Only if the police put it out, though. If you put it out, then that would probably be different.
A vigilante.
Yeah.
So we have friends who are in law enforcement. Did they have to be in law enforcement in our municipality is the question I have.
Probably. Oh dear. Oh dear. Now, see, now all of this is on the internet. So now you can't do it because
No,
there
I
is
wouldn't do it
hard
anyway.
proof that you are the one.
Where am I going to find those tax strips anyway? I just
Right now, somebody is
fired up about it. I mean, I am not responsible for the actions of anyone else beyond my personage. Full stop.
That is a good reminder.
Yes, that honestly, that's been happening a lot more often. That people just have no regard for your own wishes, your own others' safety, their desire, nothing. Like the lack of respect and the entitlement is very interesting nowadays, to say the least. So it's spilling over quite a bit.
Well, and it confuses me because I can look at my parents' generation and they still hold a lot of respect for their peers, for their elders, for whomever they interact with. I look at my grandparents and they have even more respect. I mean, I generally associate less respect with a younger than me generation. Yet I'm seeing it just sort of like there's no age that defines disrespectful behavior. Like it's not segregated by the generation behind you. It's very weird. Okay. That's my salty story.
Next salty topic. Anyone else have another salty topic?
I don't.
Well, I already shared with you guys the story for me for this week from yesterday, but I'll share with, I like to give. I'm a really, giving person. And so
if anyone is eating, if you're eating, you need to stop right now. I'm just warning you. Go ahead.
Make your own choice.
All right. So I took Bubs, our dog, in the car yesterday. And when we first got him, he was, he had issues with car sickness, and we worked really hard to take him and gradually build up time. And he was at the point where he just didn't get car sick anymore, and it was glorious. And I actually got to enjoy bringing him with us. He was like my little road trip dog. And, but apparently going to Texas for a week and him not having a car ride for a week, it just erased everything that we did. I shouldn't say everything, that's an exaggeration, but, yesterday I took him in the car and we had a lot of errands to run, and we had been out for like 2 hours and he had done fine. And all of a sudden we're like going to our last stop and I look over and he's actively vomiting. Usually there's a build up to it, and maybe I just missed it because I was focused on the road, like you do. And but I look over and he's vomiting. So he sits in the front seat next to me, and he's vomiting into the cup holders and down the crack between the seat and the center console. So not only did we have to just keep on going with the pile of puke in the car to finish our last stop, but then I had to clean it all when we got home. And I'm like, okay, so a dog pukes between the seat and the console and you're just sentenced to a life of puke in your car? Like, what other option is there?
You burn the car.
So yes, I mean there should be some way. Yeah. There should be some way to remove the seat or to remove the console, because I can't even get my hand down there. I'm getting a spatula trying to, but it's not long enough. So I finally got so I had a vacuum cleaner that wasn't working, but it had a long attachment that would fit, but it wasn't working to suck anything up. But I had a vacuum that did work, but its attachment wasn't long enough. So I took the long attachment and made it work on the vacuum that did work. And so finally I got everything sucked up. but there is a pin down between the crack, and it's still there. Like, I can't get it out.
Oh my god.
Like, what is the deal with that crack where, like, we've been making cars long enough? There should be an option. There should be a way. So
yeah,
I got all of, like, with the vacuum, I was able to get all of the, like, chunks of dog food vomit. But there's a pin that's still there that will be there forever until the car is destroyed.
The pen is mightier than the vacuum.
Apparently. Apparently. Anyways, there you go. That's mine. Shorter than Lindsay's, but, you know, there you go. Like I said,
have a
I'm a very
follow-up
giving
question.
person, so I hope everyone enjoyed.
You can
What
resume
happened-
eating now.
Bubs is a very giving dog as well, apparently.
What did you do with the spatula? Was it donated to the cause?
Well, it was too short to reach down there, so it's fine.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
bless.
was so
That's
angry. I was
fantastic.
so angry.
Oh,
The kids are like coming outside trying to ask me questions, and I'm like, don't even talk to me.
Okay.
All
Time for
right.
I guess it's time for my salty dog story, which I did just share with you guys, but now I'll share again.
We should have started the recording 15 minutes ago.
I'm gonna
We
set
are.
it up. I'm gonna set it up to where it just starts recording, and when we all get on, like, I'll try to get on first, and I'll just like do an intro before you guys even show up. Anyways,
Go.
warning. So
Let us
everyone
know how
knows. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. So everybody knows that I've raw fed my dogs for a long time. We don't anymore because it's too flippin' expensive. Just plain and simple. I can't afford it anymore because hashtag inflation. So we don't raw feed anymore. We used to. And I numerous times have had way too many roosters. I was blessed by the rooster gods. I had like 60% roosters in my flock. So I would kill a rooster, throw it in the dog kennel, and they would eat the parts that they wanted, and they would leave the other stuff, and they have to like chew very carefully the bones until they're thoroughly crushed to be able to rip the whole thing apart. I don't watch. It's kind of gross. But it saves me on chicken feed. So don't pay attention. Never had a problem with it before. Totally fine. Been a little while. Again, just like you don't take Bubs in the car for a week. What happens? Don't give my dogs roosters for it's been like a month or something. Found 2 more late bloomers out in my roosters. Of my 25 chickens that were out there, we are up to like 16 of them have been roosters. So I fed them all through winter. Not happy. Kill them, give them to the dogs. Just like I always do. Always just same. Nothing's changed. My dogs eat absolutely everything. They've never eaten everything before. Like everything. There was nothing left. There was nothing left except for Shuriken didn't eat the gizzard and this one part of the intestines, but he ate everything else. The head, everything. And I had like pulled out a bunch of the feathers for him because I didn't want to deal with the feather apocalypse because that happens. And it smells so bad. So I pulled the feathers out, but that's all I do. They ate everything. It's never happened before. They spent the next 24 hours pooping everywhere. In the house, you name it. So I was making food. I'm making ribs. I gave the chickens some dog rib bones. Wait, not dog rib bones, cow rib bones. Go ahead, Linz.
Yeah, just get rid of those dogs. They don't.
I'm gonna make dog tacos next. I'm just telling you.
I have a disconnect. Something is dissonant in my brain. We tell everybody to not eat for Neely's story, and then we tell them to resume eating.
I thought about that. I was like, wait, maybe you shouldn't have started eating. I'm sorry. Don't worry. I said it. I was like, the dogs are eating, and you shouldn't be. Oh well. Don't worry. We're all there. Okay, we're all on the same page. Stop eating if you haven't already.
Yeah.
So actually, maybe I'll pop
Well-
something up. I'll tell him don't stop eating. Don't start eating it. Wait for it. So
Oh,
dog
goodness.
is in the house and I'm cooking dinner. I'm working on some cow rib bones, sorry. And they're like massive. They're beefy. They're huge bones. Cutting the stuff off of them and I have the bones in a box and I'm like, well, the dogs are in the other room. They're good. I'm going to give these to the chickens and the chickens can clean the bones off and it'll be good. And then we'll continue with Janet's like, go away. Go away.
Sorry.
He's like, go away.
This is me time.
I told you not to disturb me. Thank you.
Okay, I told my 7-year-old the same thing. So I've got this box of bones on the counter, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I can let the chickens kind of clean these off. The dogs are inside. They just pooped outside. They're fine.
Not fine.
I throw the bones outside to the chickens. I put the box out. The chickens are picking at the bones, and they're right there in the front yard. I'm keeping an eye on them, and then I hear, Trukin, no! And I'm like, what? She's like, and I'm like, oh. So I kicked. Of course, I have to kick the dog outside to finish pooping. So what does this fool do? He swoops down upon the box, grabs a bone, and continues to run. And he's never done this before, ever. And I'm like, drop it! No, the thing. He looks at me. He swallows the thing whole. The entire rib. The thing was bigger than my face, and he swallows it whole. And I'm just like, "What did you do?" And so I'm like banging on Brittany's window. I'm like, "Get out here! I need help!" And so we get all the rest of the bones, and I'm like, "I don't know even what happened. He just swallowed it whole. He's just sitting there." So I call the vet. Of course, vet's closed. It's 8:00 at night, so nobody answers. So I called the emergency vet, and I'm like, "What do I do? Do I like induce vomiting? Do I? Well, I can't even. I don't even know what to do." And they're like, "Pray that his stomach acid is strong enough, because at this point in time, we just wait and see what happens." Fantastic. Okay, thank you very much for that. So that was my salty story. No more roosters and no more bones. I'm absolutely done. So we're going to see what happens to my dog.
How come for the roosters, like, you don't butcher them and eat them yourself?
Because we have eaten them before and they're so tough and gamey.
Oh,
that okay. And I've made broth before. Like, I'll make soup with them, but we just don't eat that much soup ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I can make it, but they just don't taste that good.
Oh, okay.
The hens are much better. They taste a lot nicer, but the roosters are so busy running back and forth protecting the flock, because we have a lot of really big like hawks and turkey vultures and all these critters that fly around. So my roosters are very busy. So they are constantly like zipping all over the yard to protect everybody. Yeah, whereas my hens are like, I'm gonna go 5 feet that way, and that's the extent of my reach for today. Is that okay? It's fine.
Dust bath.
Yeah, dust bath in next to my sidewalk, which is now covered in dirt. And I've thought about like caging all of them, but the ticks.
Yeah, we're in the same boat where it's like, man, it would be nice to have a porch that doesn't have poop on it.
Yeah. But I pulled a tick out of Bella's head yesterday. So
no.
I'd rather just have the chickens that are cleaning out the ticks, because Bella hasn't gone into the woods. She's only gone into the front yard. And she was like, I think I have a tick. And sure enough, big old fat tick. So I ended up giving her a homeopathic remedy that's supposed to help prevent Lyme. So that was my salty day yesterday.
I don't know, Janet, are you going to be able to follow all of this?
I don't really have a salty story, but I'll mention, since we're all repeating our stories that we were talking about earlier, that's what I'll do. Because Lindsay and I were talking before, and she was saying how ravenously hungry she's been the last couple of days.
But she's not pregnant.
No.
Clarified.
And I said, you know what? For like 3 or 4 days, I didn't have really an appetite. I was like, this is fantastic. I'm actually not hungry. I was eating like one meal a day, and even for that one meal, I wasn't that hungry. I'm like, this is great. I can stay on track. And then yesterday, I was hungry like all entire day. Like I woke up and I had something to eat. Like I never do that ever. And then supper time came and Jimmy made his wings. And we just had a smaller pack of wings because it's just him and I. And he was like, okay, well, we have 12 wings each. And I'm like, oh, that's perfect. That's like a pound, right? That's usually what I eat. That's perfect. And I literally ate all of them. And I looked over at Jimmy's plate and he had 4 left. And I was like, are you going to eat those? And he was like, no, I'm not. Here you go. Like, thank you. Thank you very much. And we were talking about how it's like, Jimmy had this back surgery, his 3rd spinal surgery, and he's been, bedridden and recovering for the last 5 months. And he literally can fit into his clothes, his summer clothes, his shorts from like 2002. Like, wow. How does that happen? And then it's like me, I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure if my shorts are going to fit me this summer. So yeah. And I said, why does that happen with men? Like, and women are just like the total opposite. Like my weight, when I think about like my weight, it's so up and down through the last, I don't even know how many years. And Jimmy has just stayed the same size, same weight for the last 15 years we've been together. I'm like, I don't get it. It's probably because what just happened. You're going to eat those wings? No. That's how the men stay skinny.
Yeah, Jeff has been like within the same 10-pound range our entire marriage, and we got together when we were 19. So
yeah,
like he was a teenager. Like he's about the same as he was when he was a teenager. Yeah, and then, well, yeah. I had 5 kids in that time, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think it's so funny how men are just like so the same, and women just fluctuate so much.
Yeah, and yet we're the ones that care about it so much.
Yeah,
they literally care less.
They don't even care. They eat whatever they want. And it's like, how is that even possible? Like food is on my brain like every minute of the day.
You're having to eat, you're having to make it, you're having to prepare it, you're having to buy it, you're having to do it all.
Yeah.
With food. Yeah. And there they are just like, oh, food, whatever. I'm just gonna
What did you make for dinner?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think from my observation, age certainly makes a difference with the women, because let me tell you, I hit 40, and the minute I hit 40, everything stopped working. I was looking at this the other day. I was like, I started keto when I was 38, and I lost all that weight. I got off on like everything was fantastic. I think the minute to the second that I hit 40, everything started going backwards. Because now I can do the exact same thing that I did before. Nothing is working. Absolutely nothing is changing. And I'm like,
well, Lindsay, you and I, we have one more year, I guess.
One good year left in us.
All our things and get it all.
Yeah,
maybe figure it out in this one year, because after that, it's over.
It's over.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to have to do the Dr. Mindy, just like fasting. We're just going to have to fast from today until our 40th birthdays and see.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I did that the other day. Not the other day, but a couple of weeks ago, I did a fast, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay on this fast for as long as I can. I lost like 7 pounds.
How long did you stay on?
I was like 3 days. I think it was like 3 days.
Oh, that's impressive.
For 3 days. And I ate on the 4th day, and I gained like 9 pounds. Oh. And I was like, so I lost 7 and I gained 2, and all I had was
net 2 positive.
I'm like, how is that even right? But if I eat consistently and I eat 3 meals a day, and sometimes it's not even the same stuff. I mean, I'm really, really very keto again. I don't move. I don't lose, but I also don't go up. Yesterday, however, my daughter, because I was eating rice and stuff like that for a little while. My daughter wanted.
Did you say my dark side was eating rice?
My daughter. My dark side. My dark side was eating rice for a little while. Honestly,
I have a dark side that eats bad things too.
with the way my
Same.
brain is, I could have said that. That's exactly what I might have said. So my daughter
the dogs.
my daughter wanted sushi yesterday. So I got her sushi. And she's like, Mom, this roll's really good. Do you want some? Because I was eating sushi for a little bit. Then I stopped because I was like, oh, maybe I can lose weight if I stop eating the rice and stuff. No, it was a joke. No, I didn't lose any weight when I stopped eating rice. So I was like, oh, sure, I'll have a couple of bites. Took out the fake crab, which is made with wheat, so took that out. Had two bites of the sushi.
Mhm.
I woke up 4 pounds heavier this morning. I was like, it's just a cruel joke.
Talk about salty.
This doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter. I'm like, it's either stress or the 75 chemtrails that I see in the sky every day, or the meat. Because from the grocery store with all of I don't even know anymore. I can't even keep up with anything anymore. I'm like, I'm just going to try to survive dogs and children. And I don't know what else to do besides not turn left on the roundabout. I know not to do that.
Better not. You better not.
That's a life lesson for anybody that is watching.
There's
Do
a
your research
hard,
on roundabouts.
Unless you're
Always
in Europe,
right.
then you do turn left.
Mhm.
not all European countries though.
This is so difficult.
It is so hard.
Oh my God.
Maybe
It was
your neighbors are just European. Did you ever think of that?
Maybe.
Oh, I've thought about that, but I have an Occam's razor response to that. And that is, as of the time that we bought our house had been the only house on the market for who knows how long. Like it had been like, this neighborhood is like less than 20 years old at this stage. But for more than a year, there were no houses in this area on the market. Ours goes on the market. We, come to a contractual agreement like 2 days after it was on the market. So my summation of that is, if they were European, they have at least not purchased a house in this neighborhood within the past year plus. Therefore, they must have had plenty
Enough
of
time.
exposure to the actual area for longer than, a week. But I also have to say, when Jared and I were in Scotland, we never drove on the wrong side of the road. And we're Merkin. Like, we figured it out. And I'm not saying like we're not Mensa students. So it's not like it's that difficult to figure it out.
There you go. As you know, I just keep trying to give those neighbors the benefit of the doubt, but
Well, and let's just, reality check here. There will be one HOA meeting. And yes, I will make my concerns presented in this meeting. I will also present it in such a way that makes everybody understand it's not just me trying to be like a nosy Nelly, like trying to be in your business. It's a safety concern, full stop. And I will make it that, and I will leave it there. But I'm also not going to go create a Facebook profile so that I can then shame them with their picture
you're
on.
one of those people.
I'm not going to do that.
One of those people in the Nextdoor app and the neighborhood Facebook groups. Oh,
Nor
we have enough
are
of those.
you gonna, nor are you going to go full vigilante either.
I'm sure not. I will
Yeah.
speak my concerns, and then I will fume quietly and out loud in this room.
Or on the internet like you are now.
I'm still in the room.
Yeah. Yes.
Still in the room.
I will not take it beyond my home. We'll keep it right here. I'm allowed to have my frustrations right here.
And in the homes of all those who are watching and hopefully have not lost their lunch from half of the stories.
Sorry.
But maybe they have, and they could be salty about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know down in the comments. What are you guys salty about?
And we're not talking about like, like salty Bible style salty, like being the salt of the earth, but more like what makes you agitate.
Or electrolytes. We're not even talking about electrolytes.
No, although this is an element shirt.
That's okay. Totally works. I keep seeing it. Can you all see my bruise?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
It looks like a rotting lemon.
What
Like,
Oh my
happened?
god.
yellow and green. So on the opposite side of being salty, I had something really, really cool. I've been wanting a wood burning cook stove.
Yeah.
It would be fantastic to heat this side of my house along with that side of my house, because that side has the wood stove and I wanted a cook stove for the kitchen. I finally found one at an antique store. And so we were bringing it home and we had to make 2 trips because I don't have a trailer or anything to haul a trailer with. So we just broke it down and put it in my husband's car. Well, people were helping us get it into the car because it's really, the base is like really freaking heavy cast iron. So we were working it in and I slipped and my arm got pinned between the car and then it bent my wrist back by the stove. And so then I had to wait for them to move it back again. So this whole thing is a little pulled, but I got my stove. So now we have to look at getting the venting installed because that will have to do, like professionally probably. Because where I want it is in front of my giant 9 by 5 foot window. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it works, but it's gorgeous.
That's exciting.
Nice.
That's very exciting. Follow-up question. What are you going to do about that in the summertime?
I'm still gonna use electricity in the summertime.
Okay.
Smart.
But in
Very, very
the winter, well, and then this year, golly, we burned our fireplace until like 3 days ago. This year because it's been so crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cook on it in the wintertime, but then in the summertime, I'm still using electricity.
Okay.
As long as I have to, but that's my plan. But yeah, so I noticed it. I was like, oh, I should tell everyone. That's my pretty bruise.
I didn't notice it.
I didn't either. But it's a good story.
Someone's gonna see it on YouTube and they're gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be like you should see what the stove looks like. What's up?
it's black and blue. Like,
Yeah.
put up a picture of it right there so you can see it's actually like black and blue. But
I gave it done it and what for? That's what happened.
exactly. Yep. So I got my stove. I got a new washing machine too because mine completely died.
Is it a hand crank?
Dude, I went old school. Like I went back old school. It's got no fancy electronic display. It's got the old style dials. It's got the agitator in the middle. You can select how much water you want to go in the thing. So cloth diapers, you could actually like do that stuff in there.
Clean them properly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because with these new ones, I was always doing it in the bathtub and it never worked. So I had to give up on the cloth diapering. Praise the Lord, all my kids are out of diapers, but my husband's clothes have not been able to get clean at all because of where he works. And I didn't really want to pay to get them clean. So now I have like this old style washing machine and I ran an empty cycle just to kind of clean out the drum. I opened it up and there was just water sprayed all over the top because it was agitating so forcefully. I was like, oh, I could cry. I'm so excited about having something that functions like it's 20 years old.
That's funny.
Well, and what's nice about those older washers is you can actually find parts that you can repair it yourself. My parents, they still have their dryer from like, oh gosh, it must be like almost a 30-year-old dryer. And that thing is top notch. I love drying my clothes at their house because I know it's going to be like 27 minutes. Everything is dry. You can move on. It's a fast transition and you're just moving and you don't really have time to sit down and then lose your motivation between the loads of laundry. It's great.
Yeah. I agree. The
Yep.
older style ones are way better. We got a new set when we renovated. So probably 4 years ago, within 6 months, the dryer, we got warranty on it, but the dryer went kaputs. And so we ended up getting like an intern one because we had to, they didn't come to our house. We had to like take the dryer into town for them to look at it. And then to find out that the part was actually more expensive than the dryer, which we just bought brand new. And I'm like, okay, so now what? So then we had to wait to get our replacement one. In the meantime, we got an older style one, like 20 years old, and it was perfect. Like it literally had like 4 dials on it. And Jimmy was like, this is the best. Like we are never going to buy brand new washer and dryers ever again because they crap out and you can't fix them. Like Jimmy's pretty handy, and there is no way that he would have been able to fix that dryer. And obviously they couldn't either. The part was too expensive. Like the part's too expensive. We paid like $800-900 for that dryer. Like where's this part coming from and what is it made of?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah.
This is a diamond part.
Literally. But I agree. The older style ones are so much better than the brand new ones. So much better. The only thing I would miss is our washer like doesn't have that middle part. And that's the one. Yeah, the one thing that I would probably miss, even though it's probably a better thing for clothes, but
yeah, ours weren't getting very clean. And part of that's because I've got the well water and it's really hard well water. So we have a water softening system and then we have to do the rust removing salt because our water is like yellow.
Yeah. Ours is too. Yeah.
And so I have all this stuff in it. And so the clothes don't get nearly as clean. But it was, we called it playing the video game for whoever was going to try to start the washing machine.
Yeah.
Because you had to push start anywhere from 1 to 200 times before it would actually start. And it would make this dinging sound and you would just have to keep pushing it. We tried unplugging it. We tried leaving it unplugged for 24 hours and plugging it back in to see if it would like reset. We tried everything possible. And you just had to sit there and push it and push it and push it. So it became a contest of which one of my kids could get it to start.
Yeah.
And so, and it would always remember the last cycle that it was on. So if I needed to do jeans one cycle and then bedding the next cycle, you had to like twist it. So if you tried turning it off, you had to like reset everything and then try to start it. It was ridiculous. So we dealt with that for a little while. I mean, a couple of months, honestly. It just got worse and worse and worse. And then finally, what finally broke me was 200 times you pushed and we counted. We actually counted. But it was like 187. Yeah, I'm the winner for today. It was insane. So I finally get the thing started and halfway through the cycle, silence. And I'm like, why is it silent? And I go in there and it's 36. And I'm like, okay, come back 30 minutes later, 36. And I'm like, okay. So I turn it off. The lid is still locked. The clothes are in there. It's full of water. I can't get the thing to drain. And I can't even like get in there to like wring out the clothes. It took me 4 hours to do the last load of laundry.
Ours did that exact same thing to our washer. Yeah. So, but now it's working fine. But yeah, it did that to us a couple times.
I was like, okay. So I texted my husband and I said, I'm going to chop it up into little pieces. I'm going to set each of the pieces on fire. And then I'm going to have a powwow and dance around the ashes. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't end up having to do that. So I might try to turn it into like an apple cider press or something, though. I might do something, or a chicken plucker.
Yeah, chicken plucker. That's a good idea. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
That would be very useful.
That'd
for
be
me.
hilarious.
That
That would make a great YouTube video.
I was going to
That
say,
would
we
make
need to record that.
I totally should. What were you going to say, Lindsay? Let's go.
I was gonna ask it's gone. When the lid was still locked, did you like pry into it like an otter trying to get into a clam?
It was glass. It was one of the glass top ones. So I put my face up.
It was glass.
Like, open, and it didn't work. I tried.
Yeah. No, ours has like an unlock if that happens. So we did that.
Yeah. Oh.
And then we put it on because it was just stuck at whatever minutes, wasn't doing anything. So then we thought, okay, well, we'll put it on like the spin, right? So it'll drain the water and spin it. Well, it would drain the water, but it didn't spin it. And I'm like, how am I like this? These clothes were sopping wet. And I'm like, like, where are we back in 1800s that I literally have to wring these clothes like and hang them to dry? Like, where are we living? But it ended up working. I just did that spin cycle a couple times and it ended up working, but it took like literally 5-6 hours before the load of laundry was done in the washing machine only. Like, yeah.
At that point, you should have just washed everything by hand. You would have been
I
done
should
sooner.
have. Would have saved me hours.
All the technology.
Not worth it.
So I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no more smart anything. I want all my stuff to be dumb from now on. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes when they try to think too much for you, you're just like, just let me do the thinking. I'm better
That's
at
right.
it.
There's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
She just got a brand new washer and dryer, like brand new, top of the line, and it's Bluetooth. Same with her oven. Her stove and oven is Bluetooth. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? Like, why would you have
need to do that with?
Like, do you have a robot that's going to put the clothes in the washer and then you're just sitting there on the couch watching TV and think like, I'm going to have to start my laundry. Put it on my phone. Like, what is this world coming to? Yeah.
The Jetsons, Janet. It's coming to the Jetsons.
Oh, yeah, literally. That's what the world is becoming, is the Jetsons. You're absolutely right.
I'd rather go back to Flintstones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm going to get myself a hand crank washing machine one of these days. I promise. I really am.
Well,
After I make my chicken flutter.
Wait until your kids are older and all left the house before you start doing that.
Right.
that would be hard with a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody has their time slot to do their hand cranked laundry themselves so that they appreciate the electricity.
Or you just tell them go jump in the creek. It's good enough.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Anyways, we should probably wrap it up.
We really should.
Sounds good.
I'm like 3 or 4 blinks away from like falling over tired.
And I'm out of water, so yeah, it's time.
Not a coffee.
So okay. Thanks, ladies. I have no idea what next month
We
is.
just brought everybody's mood down.
I'm
I'm so sorry to everyone who's watching.
But you know what? This generally helps everyone know that they're not alone, because so many people are going through so much right now. And you guys always think that us here on the YouTubes always have everything together and everything's fine. It's like, no. We only show you that stuff because who wants to brag about it? Who wants to brag about their salty stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
Maybe Lindsay. Yeah, no, we're just helping. We're helping everybody to feel not so alone and stay salty. Go ahead, Linz.
I was going to say, or maybe everybody else is helping us for us being able to just like release the thoughts from the churning in our brains so that it can no longer be on the spin cycle that never drains.
Never drains.
Wow, I love how you just brought that together. That was beautiful.
It was
that was actually not planned.
It was like going in a roundabout, the right direction.
Yeah.
We're circling that roundabout, but we sure can't make it drain.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
We'll just
Are we gonna do this again next month?
Yeah.
A what?
We're gonna be back next month, yeah?
We're back every month.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to re-engage the energy with the audience. I was gonna ask the audience, can you please do us the solid of giving us something that is a topic or a direction for next month so that we can at least try to add value to you that's not just us laughing about our salty issues.
Talking about dog vomit.
Although I did just figure it out.
Yeah. If you guys don't give us ideas, we're going to talk about vomit the whole time.
All the time.
And poop.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Yes. Although I did figure out what's wrong with your neighbors, Lindsay.
Oh.
NASCAR fans go left.
Oh.
But then why do they go right on the other direction? Like
Because
when
they
they're
already got
inbound,
their
why do they
fill
go
for the
right?
day. That's it.
They're outbound. I just don't understand. I am out. I cannot anymore.
Cannot. And I will not. So yes,
Will not.
you guys don't give us any ideas. We're going to be talking about this poop and vomit.
Poop, vomit, and left-hand turns in America.
Literally.
Maybe that's what this one should be called. Poop, vomit, and turns in America.
I feel like that would be a title worth clicking on.
I don't know what will.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So you're welcome, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna let you ladies go. We're gonna let you guys go so you can finish your meal. It's finally safe now. Sorry about that. I guess we'll see you guys next month.
Sounds good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
My cursor keeps disappearing. Where is my mouse? My mouse doesn't exist. Why are Janet and everyone's frozen? Oh, it's me. I must be frozen. It's fantastic. It won't connect. It won't connect. Oh, Lord, I hope this is recording because this is hilarious. They're all frozen. All of them.
They're making funny faces.
Kind of. Wait. I heard a giggle.
It's still flashing a record.
Yeah, I still see record.
Oh, there you go.
There you are.
You're okay.
Here
now.
we go.
There you are.
Can you give us like a weird fancy face like this?
I have no idea what recorded, if it was you guys or if it was me. It's probably me because all of you froze and I'm just sitting here talking. I'm like, no, I can't find the cursor. The cursor on my computer is gone. It's like,
Don't you hate that?
it's not there.
Very strange.
Does not exist. Nothing.
I think you're the only one that can stop recording, though.
Yep, I don't have a cursor. It stopped. Like there's no cursor on my computer.
Well,
Gone.
that kind of goes with the topic of the video,
Right?
I think.
Yeah,
Salty.
fix it.
Vomit, poop, and left-hand turns in America. I got nothing. I
America.
think I'm just gonna have to like shut off the
I'm sure it'll stop.
Super weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
I'm
to
sure it'll
You better
stop
not,
recording.
you better not lose the file though.
For sure. Like,
Turn it off. That would be
Nothing.
bad.
nothing. There's
Hit a button.
nothing. Maybe I
If
can
you
On the
if you hit tab, sometimes that'll like go to different things that can be clicked, and then you hit enter. Does that do anything?
nothing.
Is your mouse like battery operated?
that's what I was going to ask.
I'm touching the pad too.
Oh,
Nothing. There's no cursor. It's invisible.
that's weird.
I could hit.
Because usually, eventually, like I just usually shake the hell of it, and then it pops up.
Like, it's on. The little thing is on, and I was like, okay, maybe it's dead. Is my mouse dead? Okay, let's like plug in the mouse. Let's see what happens. Which, okay, like I get it, but it's a pain in the butt to plug it in on the underside. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Ours has to sit like this while
Haha,
it charges.
that worked.
You know what? You could have
I
hijacked
now
it.
have a cursor.
I think you could have hijacked it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good one.
Oh, you do have a
We
cursor.
want to lose all that gold we just created.
Oh yeah.
Poop, vomit, and left hand turns in America.